Hello, and welcome to my virtual parish on the line. I am in very good spirits at the moment, I being the former vicar of Stoneborough in the north of England, the Reverend Mr. Richard Beave. I am in very, very good spirits because it is spring has sprung here in the north of England, and with it has, as always, spring always is a revivification, if you will, a revival of one's vows, of one's belief in the Lord God, and but it's also a renaissance, if you will, in the natural world. And what has happened here, and which is happening all around the north of England, is the re-emergence of the resurrection, if you will, of the moss colonies. Now, as you'll know from previous virtual sermons, I am quite taken with the bryophytes and gametophytes and the whole moss family, really. And what that means to me in a day-to-day sense is that I'm going out and about more and more these days, and going to visit my favourite little patches of moss colonies here around Stoneborough. And this is a very exciting thing for me, because I'm happy to report that all the colonies are intact. None suffered even a loss of spores over the winter months, and they're actually thriving, which is very good. And it's due in part to I do an awful lot of prayer, and the Lord God looks out for the greater and lesser alike. And to me, the moss are among the greater, actually, even though many people would not consider them to be a higher form of life. But if you look close enough into a clump of moss, you will see things that you can only see in the great rainforests of Borneo, for example, or the great deserts of the earth. Well, oh gosh. Well, and so it is, and it's a delightful time I'm having here, because I'm just out most of the day, tramping through the bogs and through the forests, and just enjoying my time in nature. So often us of the cloth are confined indoors to study, to sermonize, to comfort those among our flock. But when I can get out and get in the open air, I really feel good. I really feel revived myself, and all the goodness inside of me, it just comes right to the surface, just like the moss itself that's creeping out. So, in other news, what is more important than that, really? I mean, for me, moss is representative of everything that's good in this world, and without this world, beyond this world, beyond the land, sea, air, and sky, if you will, into the ethereal presence of the Lord God. And I do think that if life were to be discovered on another planet, I think moss would be the one who would be the first to be discovered. And that's how strongly I believe in moss. That's my faith is unshakable in moss and bryophytes and gametophytes, and you can call me on it. And I hope this broadcast, this sermon, will go down in history and be beamed to other planets. If they do see it, they'll see about how faithful one can be on Earth, and how compassionate one can be about other species. In other news, as you know, my virtual parish is growing by the day. I have 3 confirmed virtual parishioners spread across the globe, and one of them writes me from Australia, and Mrs. Betty Gabelski, and Ms. Gabelski has asked a question, which I will now read to you. This is very interesting. She says, "Dear Reverend Mr. Beave, do you ever get down to Australia? And if so, could you possibly stop by Adelaide and have a spot of tea with myself and the ladies of my community?" Well, I am flattered that you should ask me, and if I should ever get down to that former penal colony, I would certainly look you up and have a spot of tea with you. I don't travel very much, I must say. Last I did was when I was in the south of France at the Trappist Monastery. Loch Sit, my other most recent sermon. And so that's it, I'm afraid. Another letter here is very interesting. Comes from an American, and who has asked that his name be withheld. And he writes, "Dear Bishop," well, it's vicar. I am not a bishop yet, and it's unlikely I ever will be a bishop, given that I am no longer even a practicing vicar in Stoneborough. But who knows? These things are all political. It might happen someday that I would be admitted and become a bishop, and I thank you for the suggestion and for bringing it up. Dear Bishop Beave, I like the way it sounds, Bishop Beave. It was really nice, I mean, if I were not of the Church of England and were following Roman orders, I would fancy myself one day as the Pope. I mean, that is sort of the ultimate job for anybody in the cloth, and I just sometimes wish I could just sort of jump over from CE to CR, that is Church of England, to the Church of Rome, and work my way up the ranks, and who knows, one day might find myself in the plexiglass golf cart, as it were, perhaps on the golf course of St. Andrews. It would be very, very, very ironic, I think, someone of my ilk becoming the Pope. But anyway, we all have daydreams, and that happens to be one of mine. And I think we all are all the better for having such daydreams, but I will discuss that in another sermon. Now I really just wanted to rejoice about moths, about spring, and just in a very, very optimistic, upbeat mood. And I hope you are as well, and that you find yourself blessed by all the things that I feel blessed by at the moment. So I hope to see you soon in my next sermon. And in the meantime, stay close to God, stay close to the soil, and stay close to your own heart, and follow the Lord God and Jesus in everything you do. Goodbye.